I'm Timme Litt, and this is Cookin' It. Tonight I'm going to be cooking dishes from the Caribbean. For our main courses, we're going to have a Jamaican Me Blue steak, which is a steak with Jamaican jerk spices on the outside, stuffed with blue cheese. And then we're going to do some curried scallops with a coconut peanut butter sauce, with a little bit of spice to that. Along with that, a traditional Caribbean side dish, red beans and rice, cooked in a coconut sauce. And for dessert, I'm going to do some pineapple on the grill with a Bailey's caramel sauce. We'll also have some mushrooms for on top of the steak, because I always cook mushrooms with my steak. Cut. For the first dish, I have 1 cup of coconut milk and 2 cups of water boiling over here. And I've taken 1 can of red beans and 1 cup of just white rice, and we are going to dump that in. A little bit of rice on the bottom there. And I'm going to let that simmer on low. So I'm going to put it back here on my hot plate. Let that baby cook away for about 25 minutes. In the meantime, what we will do is steam some sugar snap peas. Turn it up to high. I've got some nice fresh sugar snap peas, crispy. I'm going to only steam them for about 3 minutes, maybe 4, because I want to keep them crisp. And then I'm going to shock them in this cold dish of ice water that I have, so they'll stop cooking. And in the end, I'll throw them in with the mushrooms, give them some more flavor. Alright, first I'm going to marinate these steaks. I'm going to put some Jamaican jerk spices on the outside. This is a combination of garlic salt and allspice and habaneros and chili sauce and vinegar. I've made it before, but I prefer just to use a jar one. There's plenty of good brands out there. But first, I'm going to butterfly these steaks and stuff them with some blue cheese. I'm going to put a slot about as big as that spoon, and then I'm going to kind of cut around inside there to make a little pocket. Okay? This will help keep the blue cheese from coming out. A lot of the times you can just dig in and use your hands. Make it a little bit bigger, but you don't want to create any holes. Alright. Scoop up a little bit of blue cheese and stuff it in there. The thing about this dish, I thought of it a few years back. I call it Jamaican Me Blue. And the heat, which is rather prevalent from the Jamaican sauce, goes very well with the blue cheese, kind of tames it down. Okay, we can cut and now zoom in while I'm doing it this time. Just going to do this again. I got the steaks prepared, all marinating all nice. Place those back here. Peas are done, they've been on for about 4 minutes. We'll take those out of here. And put them in the cold water, stop them from cooking, keep them al dente. Alright. sure the rice is cooking away over there. Sometimes you have to move the peas around a little bit to make sure that all of them get hit by the ice. Now I'm going to make the sauce for the dessert. It's a simple caramel sauce. I'm going to put butter, 1 stick, about the same amount of brown sugar, and a couple of shots of Bailey's Irish Cream. Mix all that up. Keep on stirring it so it doesn't burn, because the sugar burns pretty quickly. And I've got a pretty high heat right here. Turn it down a little bit. Keep on stirring it. I'm going to keep that on warm up here on the warmer. While I start the sauce for the scallops. In here I have about a cup of chicken broth. To that I'm going to add about a half cup of coconut milk. Some cayenne pepper. We use quite a bit of cayenne pepper in this house. A little garlic salt. Pepper. And then maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of peanut butter. Now once this all cooks together and the flavors meld, sometimes I add more coconut milk, sometimes I add more peanut butter, just depends on how it tastes. Get this stirred up real good. You don't want this on too high a heat either, because the coconut milk will scald. I might need to use a thickening agent later. If there wasn't enough peanut butter to thicken it up, and I'll use a little bit of Wondra in it. In October we were in Costa Rica for our honeymoon, and I experienced a lot of these Caribbean flavors. Okay, next let's start the onions for the mushrooms. Chop up an onion here. I use the same technique that I used last week, where I'm going to slice the onion horizontally first in 3 or 4 slices, and then vertically this way, and then vertically this way, to make nice diced pieces. I'll only use half of it, so start that going. A little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And some butter. Alright. I'm going to add a little balsamic vinegar to the onions. They're starting to caramelize. This will bring out the sugars in the onions. Mix that up. Let's get some garlic ready.
It's behind you. Your wine, honey.
going to throw the mushrooms in with the onions. Get some butter on them. Yeah. I want to take this down there and go over to yours. Okay. There you go. Crushing some garlic up. I use the end of my knife. Then these just pop right out. I give them another couple squishes to get the oils out. And then just give them a coarse chop. Want some peanut butter, buddy? There you go. Mushrooms are coming along nicely. I used the Vidalia onions with these mushrooms. They started coming out in the supermarkets about 2 weeks ago, and they are the best onions around. I highly recommend. There's only a short season that you use them when they're in the supermarket. I'm going to add a little bit of red wine to the mushrooms. And now we're going to prepare the pineapple. We are going to chop off both sides. And then cut it into 4. I usually cut out just a little bit of the heart, depending on how ripe the pineapple is.
Yes.
I'm going to take the pineapple and cut little sections, but not all the way through. You can usually get about 5 of them per slice. Okay. Like this one only gets 4. Alright. Now, I'm going to put these pineapples on a tray. And pour the caramel sauce over them. And make sure that it gets in between all of the slices. I'm going to separate them now a little bit so it gets down in there. Now how this works is I put these on after everything is done cooking on low, and you go in and eat your food, and then when you come back out, they're done to perfection. I'm going to add some seasonings to the mushrooms and get the steaks on. Use some garlic salt. Some pepper. And some freshly ground pepper. Okay, it's time to start finishing some things off here. First, I'm going to get these steaks on. Probably about 3 to 4 minutes aside to cook it to rare, and then I'll let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes so it cooks itself to medium rare. In the meantime, we'll check on this sauce. Looks like it didn't thicken up too much. I'm going to give it a taste. Looks like it needs a little bit more zing. Pepper. Some salt. So, to thicken up the sauce, I'm going to use some Wondra. It is a thickening agent that I use rather than making a roux. Now you put it in slowly and you stir it, because you never know how thick it's going to actually make it. When it happens pretty fast. So, but everybody should have a little bit of wonder in the kitchen. When you're thickening a sauce, you want it to ribbon, which is when it kind of sticks to whatever you're using. Need a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to put that back up here. Switch with the mushrooms. And now I'm going to add the peas to the mushrooms. Reheat them. They're still crispy. So, they've got all their flavor kept in them. Check on the steaks. Quite ready to flip, I think. You never want to stab the steaks with a fork. You always want to flip them with the tongs. If you're using a fork, then all the juices are going to drip out. See the blue cheese in there? Yummy, yummy. Our rice is done. Our sauce is ready. These will just take a couple minutes to heat through. Next, we'll get the scallops on and we'll be ready to go. But I think the steaks are right at rare. Harder to tell. Poke one of the sides where the blue cheese isn't. If you hold your hand, the feeling that it is like this is rare with your hand open. If you poke right here. And if you close it without putting any pressure on, that's medium rare. And then if you put some pressure on, that would be medium to well done. But don't cook your steaks like that. So, I'm going to take these babies off. Let them sit for about 15 minutes. Ready to put the scallops on? I've got a quick mist full of olive oil. You pump it up, and then you can spray your grill. And I take a brush and brush it a little bit. Okay. Now for the scallops. They have been marinating in coconut or buttermilk, which keeps them tender, and curry sauce, or curry powder, as well as garlic, salt, and pepper. And the buttermilk helps infuse all those flavors deep inside the scallop. Keeps them tender. These are pretty thick. I'm guessing around 5 minutes on each side. Usually I cut into the scallops to see if they're done or not. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Alright, close that up. Get ready to go. I'm going to flip the scallops and we're going to start plating some things. Spend about 5 minutes on one side there. I don't have the heat on high. I have it on medium. I don't want to cook them too fast. See how they're not sticking though? That was the desired effect with the olive oil. I've got a dish here that I'm going to make a mold for the rice. I'm going to spray some of the olive oil in. Brush it around. Scoop in some rice. When you make rice with coconut milk, and in the Caribbean, it's usually quite a bit stickier than your traditional American rice. Pack this baby down good. See if it comes out. Ta-da! The olive oil keeps it from sticking to the sides, and you've got your nice mold. Our scallops have got to be getting close. Yes, they are. I'm going to quickly throw on the pineapple for dessert. And just put it on the top shelf here. Turn down the grill. Yummy. Okay. Plate up a few of these vegetables over here. Nice colorful peas, still al dente. Put some scallops around the edge. Take our coconut peanut butter sauce. Drizzle on the scallops. I can smell the the peanut butter. Turn this baby down to low.